Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by again. Look, if you've been following this channel over the past few days and weeks, you've noticed that I've been making comments about the automatic demonetization of many of my videos, especially the ones dealing with electoral politics. Not necessarily anything controversial, but it's seemingly if it talks about political parties or political figures, either in Canada or the United States, YouTube has generally automatically demonetized it. And what that means is that as soon as I make the video, I upload it, I put it on unlisted to check for the demonetization status, and about 5 to 10 minutes after it gets fully uploaded to YouTube, YouTube will mark it with a little yellow dollar sign. And what that means is it's not technically demonetized, but it means it's not suitable for most advertisers. And what that means for content like mine is that it's an effective full demonetization. Now, to YouTube's credit, every time I've appealed the decision, I have been successful in my appeal. I don't want to make this look like it's some conspiracy to silence my content on an ideological level. And I have to be clear again, it's not affecting my less political but more ideological content. So my recent video on democratic socialism, which is probably more controversial than my video on, the British Columbia NDP's budget surplus, didn't get demonetized at all. It was seen as uncontroversial right from the start. But I think it's mentioning political parties and political figures that's triggering the system. And again, while YouTube has always reversed their decision, it usually takes at least 12 and sometimes more than 24 hours. And so what happens is I make a video, and sometimes they're quite timely, and I try to wait to post them, but then I have this eternal conflict within myself. Do I post it early and lose a lot of monetizable views? Or do I wait to post it and keep the monetizable views and both lose potential overall views because the video is now stale, or fail to deliver to you guys, and this is most important, fail to deliver to my viewers the timely coverage and analysis that they expect from this channel. And so I always have to weigh those things. And sometimes I'm lucky and I'm able to wait until the video is given the little green dollar sign, which means that it's good to go. And sometimes I have to kind of take a risk and post it and hope that, in the process it gets monetized shortly after posting. So, my recent video on Elizabeth May, did get remonetized, within an hour of myself posting it. So that was great. But my video on Bernie Sanders and some of the attacks against him got nearly 10,000 views, but I would say that the first 7,500 of those, the first 7,000 of those, came under the yellow dollar sign. And I had to post that video because it was a very popular topic, and as a small channel, you really do have to sort of be first to the punch. So one of the things I'm going to do, unless I hear from you guys and you really don't want me doing it, is I'm going to look at what creators like David Dole have done. Now, David's sort of been a mentor to me on YouTube. He's sort of been an example of how to produce good quality content, but also in a timely fashion. He's had me on his show. He's plugged my content, on social media and on his channel. And a lot of you, I know this, have come to my channel from David's. And what David does, because David faces the same issue I face, is if his video gets preemptively demonetized, aka as soon as he uploads it, it gets demonetized, he will post it on his Patreon for all of his patrons to see first, and then when it gets remonetized, he posts it on YouTube proper for everyone to see. And I'm going to try doing that. I'm not going to tier it. So in other words, if you're a $1 patron or if you're a higher dollar patron, it doesn't matter. All my patrons will see videos as soon as they're ready to go. And for everybody else, I'll post them on YouTube as soon as they're monetizable. There will be some exceptions. There will be some cases where I'm willing, because of the topic I know is controversial and probably won't get monetized, or a topic that's so breaking news that the value of having the first video out is worth the loss of monetization, especially when your channel's trying to grow, that I might post a video in yellow dollar status. But if I do feel like I can wait a little bit, but it's yellow dollared, it'll go to Patreon first and then YouTube. So for those of you who really have the desire to see the content as soon as it's ready to go up, Patreon's a good example. There's currently 35 people supporting me on Patreon. And again, even for $1 a month, you would get access to that content. And it's something that if you want to see that, I would encourage doing. Now, of course, if YouTube fixes their their monetization algorithm and they stop, preemptively demonetizing all of my videos, then this issue sort of goes away, at least most of the time. But if it's something more systemic, this is a way I feel that I can cover Canadian and American politics without totally hamstringing the channel. I can give you guys the content you want. I can maybe encourage a few more people to sign up for Patreon. And, ultimately I can bring that content to YouTube as quickly as is possible. So that's where I'm at. I don't want to make this too long of a video. If you guys have any comments or concerns about this, please leave them below. I mean, I've thought about this a little bit. People on my stream last night were generally supportive. People in some of the comments since then and some of my videos have been supportive. Again, people like David Dole do this. So what I'm doing here is I don't think out of the realm of reason, and it's not unprecedented. But if people have real concerns about it, I'd like to hear them below. This is something that I think I need to try at least. Because the reality is that, as the channel grows and monetization becomes a bigger part of the income stream, I'll have to look at ways of being able to provide that content. So just to close, I'll give you guys a brief, rundown of how this will work. So first, I'll make a video like I always do. I'll post it up to YouTube. I'll load it up as a non-listed video, see if it gets dinged. If it gets dinged, I will throw it up on Patreon, and I'll put notifications on social media that the video is ready to see for my patrons so that they'll know, and also that folks will know that there's a video coming on this topic, but it's not yet available for public consumption until it has been, fully monetized. And people may, if they wish to see it, go to Patreon and offer support there. That's generally how this will work. And then, of course, once it goes up, I'll let people know that it goes up on the main YouTube channel. Maybe people, to help with the algorithm and stuff, maybe you folks who watched it on Patreon will just let it play passively on the background when it goes live. That might be a nice thing to do. But of course, I just really want to offer something concrete to the people who have, given their hard-earned money to this channel, while not trying to leave out anybody fundamentally. I promise now and ever to never fully gatekeep a video from the general audience. This is more of a delay. And the way it works, frankly, is that in some ways, the video would have never gotten to the general audience before because I usually wait till it goes green anyway. And for the people who are on Patreon, this is, if anything, a bonus because let's say tonight after I make this video, I'm making this video pretty late tonight. If I was to make a video, edit it up, queue it up for YouTube, finish up around midnight or 1 a.m., I'm not posting that video even if it's green-lighted. I'm not doing it. I'm not posting a video at 1 a.m. It doesn't play well with the algorithm. There's not going to be a whole bunch of you clamoring to watch a video at that time. So what I would do is I would save it for the morning, 9, 10, 11 a.m. Post it at that time. With this, if it gets yellow dollared, then I will throw it up on Patreon immediately because there's no algorithmic concerns there. So if you happen to be a Patreon supporter, you might actually get content earlier now than you did before if it continues to be demonetized. So guys, let me know what you think. I really value your comments and concerns, and I want to hear them.